Hello, everybody, and welcome to Allegiant Stadium. I'm Hondo Carpenter, your Las Vegas Raiders beat writer on Sports Illustrated and the host of the Las Vegas Raiders Insider Podcast, literally sitting at the 50-yard line looking at the stadium as the Raiders fell today 29-19 to the Denver Broncos. It was a very, frustrating loss for the team. I've never said this to you people ever. I wish every one of you could have come in the locker room with me today. There was guys that were just heartbroken, frustrated, not pointing fingers at anybody, but literally for people that think all that, you see the comments on social media, these guys don't care. If you'd have been in that locker room, you just saw a bunch of men that absolutely every one of them did. They're frustrated. This is simply a team that just doesn't have the play at quarterback to compete in the NFL. Speaking of quarterback, Gardner Minshew, multiple reports he's out for the rest of the year. Aiden O'Connell's eligible to come back now that he's been out. I would fully expect if he is able to play, he will be the quarterback come Friday, Black Friday in Kansas City, taking on the Chiefs. So let's just basically talk about this game today. I'm not piling on Gardner. There were several opportunities, though he just missed. There was an opportunity with DJ Turner alone in the end zone for an easy score. And you know what? When you got the happy feet and you're a little bit nervous or you're trying to make stuff happen, that's exactly what happened. But what you see today is exactly what teams in the NFL look like. When you either have that quarterback with that moxie or you don't. And right now the Raiders don't. Now, let's defend the organization for a minute. There were some guys that they wanted in this draft that if teams above you aren't willing to trade, you can't get them. That's not a slam on Mark Davis. That's not a slam on Brock Bowers. It's not a slam on Tom Telesco. That's the reality of the situation. The Raiders are in a hunt for a franchise quarterback. That is the story of the game. If you're recapping this game, I thought Patrick Graham's defense did another very good job running out of gas in the fourth quarter because the team just put them in position not to succeed. You saw even with all of the injuries on the defense today, I thought DeCameron Richardson, a rookie getting his first start, I thought he looked really well. Now, was he perfect? Absolutely not. But rookies aren't. I don't care who they are. No rookie is. For a rookie, I thought he played extremely well. Tyree Wilson continues to stack one good game after another good game. He did it again today. He's playing very well right now. I had a good talk with him in the locker room. Dylan Lobby with a huge kick return. It was great to see him to be able to, exercise some demons off of that fumble. I understand that nobody's happy when the franchise's motto is just win, baby. If Mark Davis were sitting here next to me and I was interviewing him and I asked Mark, I would guarantee you he would tell you he's not happy. He wants to win. I would guarantee you AP would tell you that. Tom Telesco, every player and every one of you in Raider Nation. So no one's trying to pretend this isn't what it is. This is a 2-9 football team that had a lot of expectations. This is a 2-9 football team with a lot of talent that shouldn't be 2-9. That's just the reality. But I think what you're seeing is a couple of really good points. If you don't have a quarterback in the NFL that can literally put you on their shoulders and carry you when it's times when you've got a bunch of injuries, who can just see that guy out of the corner of his eye like a DJ Turner today, when you don't have that, it's a quest for it. I shared with you the story. I had a general manager in the NFL once tell me there are 8 teams at all times in the NFL that are 100% sure they have a quarterback that can win them a Super Bowl. There's 8 teams that hope they have it, and 16 teams that are desperately trying to get there. Quarterback play around the NFL is not great. There are some great ones, but overall, when you look at it in totality, there's not. And this is where the Raiders find themselves right now. Now, Aiden O'Connell can certainly come back Friday and turn the season around and have a great season and show the Raiders I'm that franchise guy moving forward. He very well may, he may not. But the facts are, after 12 weeks being 2-9, the Raiders don't have that guy. That is the reality. I thought the running game was improved. I will tell you this. I have said to you after certain weeks, the coaching cost them the offensive coaching. I thought the offensive coaching and play calling today, you may look at the points, and I agree with you, that's not enough to win in the National Football League, but I don't think the offensive coaching cost this team today at all. There were opportunities that were execution errors. That's on players. Players make those mistakes. And I literally just left the locker room, and on and off the record, that's exactly what they're saying. There were just mistakes left on the field. Let's talk about a couple of things, because I thought there were a couple of things that you need to talk about. And remember, I'm not a glass half empty or a glass half full guy. You, the fans, are the ones who determine if it's half full or half empty. But as a media member, my job is to not tell you how to feel. My job is to not be cheerleader, but nor a doomsdayer. My job is to present you the information and let you think. So although we will talk about the bad, the fact that they don't have a quarterback, the fact that they're 2-9, we're also not going to pretend like there isn't some good there as well. So let's talk about a couple of things that really impressed me a little bit. I thought, and I thought this was interesting. I thought Sincere McCormick, he ran 5 times for 33 yards, but I thought Sincere McCormick finally getting his first real action in the National Football League showed some things. I thought he was very interesting. I thought Amir Abdullah, um, he was good. I don't think he was great, but he was good. Um, we did not get to see Dylan Labe carry as a running back, but again, I told you what he did in the special teams. I thought the special teams for the Raiders today was outstanding. In the 5 years I've covered this team, I think it was the very best special teams performance that they've ever had. All phases, kickoffs, field goals, punts, kickoff coverage, punt coverage. All 5 facets of special teams was absolutely tremendous. And oh, by the way, Tom McMahon was not coaching today. The team did not give us any reason as to why, but he was unavailable. But still, I thought the team responded. They love him, and I think they responded and played very, very well, and they were good. Minshew today, again, we talked about, he was 25 of 42 for 230 yards, 3 sacks, and 1 interception. Now, I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to give him a mulligan on one of the sacks, but 2 of the sacks were on him. And that along with the interception was just too much, was just literally too much. And it ended up being what it was. His rating on the day was a 72. When you flip it over and look at Bo Nix, he was 25 of 42, the exact same, 273 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and the Raiders got to him 1 time. So clearly the difference in this football game was quarterback play. And I understand, we're beating a dead horse. We've been talking about this a long time. But when you're giving a complete recap, that is the reality of the situation. As Mark Davis sits and reviews his team, and Tom Brady reviews it, and Richard Seymour, and as they look at this team and where it's at, the reality is the Raiders are an NFL franchise that has a lot of talent, but they don't have a quarterback. And in the National Football League, it doesn't matter how much talent you have. If you don't have a quarterback, you're not going to be able to win football games. That's just the reality of the situation. So the Raiders will continue to, if you're looking for a silver lining, they continue to have the worst record in the National Football League, which gets them the higher draft pick. Clearly, I think they're going to be all in on Shedeur Sanders. And so the higher they're able to go, that means they don't have to trade. They don't have to give up real estate if they can get that number one. And I understand for a franchise whose motto is just win, baby, Mark Davis isn't sitting there telling the team to tank. Tom Telesco isn't. That's not what these guys want. They want to win. They would rather deal with that after the season. I know the fans just want to tank. So there's your silver lining. But the thing that stood out to me, and again, I'm not trying to make chicken salad out of chicken poop. It was a loss. It was a disappointing loss. But the end of it, again, you saw these guys scrapping, fighting. That's the Raider spirit. That's the Raider spirit. Now, a couple of things that I thought really stood out that I wanted to talk about because I thought that you would appreciate it was looking at penalties. And for so many years, so the Raiders had 6 of them for 58 yards. 6 of them. This team is not good enough to beat themselves. and have to go beat the other team. This is one that was a winnable football game. It just got away from them. But they fought, they scratched, they did everything else to get the win. It just simply wasn't there. Again, I thought there were some things that looked good. I think hats off to Scott Turner. He deserves a lot of respect. Scott Turner has done a lot, and I can tell you the players, both privately and publicly, the players have been very complimentary of Scott Turner, and I thought he did a good job today. If you're pointing fingers at a loss, and that's nothing wrong with that, this one sits on execution, just the inability, and then offensive mistakes just got the defense behind the eight ball. And in the fourth quarter, you saw it when last time the Raiders played Denver. This ran out of gas. You can't expect your defense to stand like a stone wall for the entire game. The offense has to be able to do something. And that's where they sit. So if you're trying to just be blunt on us with a complete recap of where the Raiders are, the good news, special teams played great. The good news, I think you saw some young players play really well. The good news, not one guy is pointing fingers. Nobody's quitting. Everyone's fighting. The good news, you still have the worst record in the NFL and on track to be able to go get yourself a quarterback if you think there's a franchise guy out there. The bad news is you don't have a quarterback and you're an NFL team. That is the reality. That's the complete reality. And in case you're wondering if I would say that if a quarterback was sitting here, I would, and they know that I've said that because I'm not attacking their integrity as men. It's just the reality. The Raiders don't have it. And not having that has put this team at a real disadvantage. Today was not a team loss. Today you saw the coaching staff with a very good game plan. They did some really good things, but player execution at the end of the day was a killer. And that's what caused it. So now they sit here and they're 2-9. Now they have a short week for the flight up to spend Thanksgiving in Kansas City to take on the Chiefs on Friday. That's the reality of the situation. We'll see you from headquarters tomorrow with AP's press conference. Thanks, everybody. I want to wish you and your family a very happy Thanksgiving. I want you to know from the Carpenter families and all of us on Sports Illustrated, we're thankful for you. Have a great night. God bless you.